My name is Stephanie with Lady Suburbia, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I have been a reseller for about 15 plus years. I've had my own website. I've been at vendor shows and pop-up market shows and all of that good stuff. And I also have a marketing company where I focus on being a business advisor and giving strategic marketing advice to small businesses. I totally love that. It's super cool, but you can have more than 2 passions, right? And more than 3 passions. My 2 passions in my career right now is marketing and also reselling. And so I do sell on multiple platforms. My main platform is eBay. I really enjoy that. If you follow me on social media, you will see that I've attended eBay Open and a few other their events, and I try my best to show some love to eBay and tag them. They're totally great experience selling there, and I look forward to what 2024 has in store. I've been asked by some of my reseller friends, what are some best practices and tips that you would give? And so we like to talk and share, and we help each other out. And that's how the great community of reselling works. Now, today, I just wanted to briefly talk about shipping supplies that you would need if you're trying to kickstart your business in 2024. So if you have been selling for years and you are an expert in selling, then maybe this video is probably more of a refresher. For those of you that are interested in turning maybe your hobby to a full-time business or even a part-time business like myself, I sell part-time on multiple platforms, eBay being my #1, and I also do some live shows on Poshmark. If you look on the background on the top side right there, that is a hook, and I put clothing on there, and I take measurements when I am having my live show. So this is sort of somewhat of my live show setup. Now, being it my first video, I do apologize. We're just gonna go with the flow. You may see some shadows. I'm testing out a couple of things, couple of options, video in terms of mobile phone or GoPro. So we're just gonna go with the flow, and I appreciate you coming along with me on this journey. All right, so shipping supplies. Now, this is not in order of importance. This is just supplies that I felt that if you're going to start selling online on on different platforms like eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and others, that these are some of the things that you probably should have or should look at purchasing. Now, categories all vary. So if you sell in, a particular category, you may need different supplies. I'm going through 101, basic level 101 supplies. I know my shoe sellers will be looking at cleaning products and other things, magic erasers. I'm just thinking the basic level supplies that you will need to start off your reselling business in 2024. Now let's get started. One of the first things I feel, which is extremely important, is a computer. Now, you can work a lot from your phone. I do use my mobile phone. I'm recording from my mobile phone. We'll see how that goes. But the thing that I enjoy about my business is that I can take it with me wherever I go. And I did some traveling in September for eBay Open. And I also went on a personal and business trip to Alabama last month, and I was able to also source, and I did a lot of things from my phone. Worked out great. But in terms of shipping and looking at certain products and just running numbers, I needed a bigger screen. So this was an old computer that I used. My current computer is at the desk, but this was just one that I'd use when I had an office. Always good, never fail, but you can still run your business from your phone. Don't get me wrong. This is just more of a convenience, especially when you're printing out shipping labels. That's #1. And chime in, guys. And don't forget, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, show me some love. Type in the chat what other supplies that I may have missed, because I'm only highlighting a few, because this is 101. And if I missed it, we're here to help, support, and share our resources with others. #2, a scale. Now, there are many different scales out there. You can find them, some for under $20. I believe this was a little under $20 when I had purchased it. This brand is Actec. There are links in my description, and it'll have links to a lot of these products through Amazon. You can find them elsewhere, but if you want to use what I currently use, then click on that. I'm not going to share something that I don't use unless I've, actually gone through the process of researching it, and I know personally that it does well. These are all my personal supplies. So this one right here, I'm going to put it down right there. I'm going to grab this Nintendo Switch. And this Nintendo Switch says it's 13.2 ounces. 13.1 ounces. So This, when I'm listing on my platforms, if there's an option to put the weight, I will put the weight usually beforehand. So it makes it easier when it comes to shipping time. If I forget for whatever reason, I still use this as I'm printing out labels to double check the weight works, because you'll get, depending on what platform, you will get charged based off the weight, right? Or if it's a Poshmark, it's more flat rate for 5 pounds, and other platforms also have some standard type of pricing, but putting in a weight will help you determine also your pricing. And that is a whole nother video when we can determine how you would price an item based off shipping and other things. Next is tape. Now, this is not heavy duty tape. I use heavy duty, I use light duty tape. It just depends on what you're selling. So if you're selling a lot of heavy items, then I would definitely invest in heavy duty tape. Fortunately, my items are not as heavy, and the few items that I do have that are pretty heavy, I will use a different type of tape. Usually I will combine both of these if I don't have heavy duty, my eBay, if it's eBay sale, and then this light tape. So there is a link in the description as well. I'll probably repeat that several times during the video, which will give you, I think it's to Scott. I do like Scott, and there's always good deals on Amazon where you can get like 6 to 10 rows for, under $20. So price per row is not bad. Check out Dollar Store and other stores for discounts in your area. I've used those when I've been in a punch, but every now and again, a pinch. Every now and again, I have actually gone through and forgotten about tape, thinking that I have a few, in storage, and I completely ran out, especially during Q4. I was running out of tape like crazy. So I managed to just buy a bunch and also get on a subscription, subscribe and pay, one of those things where it would ship to me every few weeks. And that was awesome. I didn't have to worry about it. Now, next is a Scotty peeler. This is red. I do have them. I also have one in blue. I had a red, white, and blue, and I can't find the white one. I think I shipped it off when I started really taking my reselling business to a whole nother level. Accidentally shipped it with an order and never got it back. But there's a pack of 3, there's a pack of 2. You can get them single. Some are thicker, some have like a metal. This is just plastic. You just use it to just scrape off the price tag when you're out, depending on how you source, if you're thrifting a lot or you're doing some retail arbitrage and there's stickers on there. You can just scrape it off. There's other products you can use to get that adhesive off, but this is just basic level. I've used this for a couple of years now, and this is the red one. I also have, like I said, I have the blue one. Next is a measuring tape. Now, you don't have to sell clothing for a measuring tape. This is for shipping, right? So a lot of the sellers that I know that are clothing sellers, we have this around our neck during live shows. Like, I'm like this. And when someone is asking for measurements, I will pop in and just grab one of my measuring tapes. And I was like, okay, the inseam is this and this. But in my live shows, that's where I normally sell more clothing. On eBay, I don't sell a lot of clothing. I sell different items. So different platforms, I sell different things, just depending what sells best for them. But this is good for measuring your boxes. Now, as some boxes are marked, they're 6 by 5, or they're 8 by 6 by 2. I mean, there's just so many. But when you're shipping something out and you have to take measurements, boom, you would go like here, and this measuring tape. Now, I will say, I'm gonna hold this measuring tape like this. I will say that I don't have a link to this, because I'm assuming that most of us may have a measuring tape, or we could also use this app on our phone where we can measure something, or you can just get a ruler if the items that you're selling are more smaller. And so they're very inexpensive. I think this came with a lot that I bought, and I'm always buying these lots of things, and I see shipping supplies in them and tons of these. I lose them like crazy, and then I find them. So I probably have about 10 laying around in the home office. It's just somewhere. There's always a measuring tape, or I'll use my husband's. He has a longer measuring tape because he's in like construction type field. And so he has some measuring tapes in the house. So I'll just grab it when in doubt. I'm like, here you go. All right. Next item is this thermal printer. I prefer a Rollo. I will show you the Rollo soon, but my first thermal printer was AOBO. And here it is. And AOBO, it was less than $50. It was on Amazon, and I started off selling on Amazon and eBay, like both. Like I was on eBay for a while, but I was looking into Amazon FBA, and I was shipping a lot of things with Amazon. So I didn't really need a printer, but as I started growing my eBay business, I realized I wasn't productive. I had to print for my inkjet and cutting, and it was just a mess. So what I decided to do was to use the printer that I currently had until that ink was kind of running out. And then I found this one, which is pretty inexpensive. I think so. And thermal printers, these are 4x6. You can actually use other labels. So in case you want to print out other things besides shipping labels, you can. These are all adjustable. So you just have to go based off the size. You see, they're just adjustable, and you just download the software, you put the size that you want. But mainly 4x6, that's the standard shipping label. I do enjoy this. It doesn't use ink. It uses like thermal heat to print, and I just love it. Very inexpensive. I do have my Rollo. I've had this Rollo for a couple of years, and I was so excited that when I got my Rollo, I've actually had 2 Rollos, and I sold one, but this is my Rollo printer. It's the one I'm currently using. It is not wireless. I just took it, unplugged it. So you see it has a printer cord, a plug for a printer cord, and then this one right here. So that's the adapter. I love it. It's very easy to set up. And you can see what it looks like on the inside. The labels feed through here. It literally, and it's perforated right here, and I just rip it off, and I kid you not, it's like the simplest thing. Now, Rollos can be pretty pricey, and so I actually got this pre-owned from someone who was getting rid of a lot of her shipping supplies. She was shutting down her reselling business and going back to work. And so I was able to get the Rollo printer with tons of these. Next item on the list, tons of these labels. So these shipping labels are 4x6. These are just ones that roll. So just trying to do the visual. I have a holder, and this feeds into my Rollo printer, and it just goes like this. And that roller is just really easy. But there's also fan fold, and fan fold is this flat. So it's just 4x6, but it's flat, and it'll still feed, but it's just a flat stack. I don't have any because I have so many of these, and I'm actually running out. These were the ones I have left. I think I have 1 or 2 of these left, and she gave me maybe 6 or 7. So in the past year or so, I've sold out, over 1,000 items, and they're just like, going like crazy. And next in line are shipping supplies. So never say last but least, but shipping supplies in terms of poly mailers. So the shipping supplies, think of poly bags, poly mailers, all those things. You want to get a variety of different sizes. So you can get 6x8, 6x9s, 4x6s. There's so many different varieties. 9x13, 9x12, 10x13. I'm probably confusing you, but if you get things in the mail, you know that they come in different sizes, right? There's many different poly bags in circulation. I do recycle a lot of my bags, Amazon bags, and other bags I get from purchasing online. I do put them, and I use them to reship items, or I use them to wrap an item up, or as stuffing. And so these are just plain white, but I do have bubble mailers as well. I use this as padding. I did not add bubble wrap to that just because it really depends on what you're selling. If you're just selling clothing, you probably don't need bubble wrap. If you are selling video games, you probably don't need bubble wrap. Most of the times when I'm shipping video games, they're going in a bubble mailer. So it still adds that extra protection. Or they're going in, some of the smaller ones go in this bubble mailer. This is a 6x9. Now, I will say, you can support small business. I love supporting small business because I have 2 of them. And like Small Business Supply Company, I'll put a link in the description. They have a lot of cute poly mailers. They're all sealed. They're very inexpensive. And they include free shipping if you purchase a certain amount, but they're always running specials and deals. And so you can subscribe to their newsletter, or this is not a sponsored post by them. I purchased from them, and I follow them on social media. And I do like that they have that branded over here, and you can buy really good poly mailers, and they're very inexpensive. Now, your friend is the USPS. They have tons of shipping products and supplies online for free. Now, there are some that you have to pay for, tape and other things, but as a small business owner, these supplies save me so much money. If I was just shipping as a just casually, just myself, then I wouldn't be stocking up on this, but I tend to stock up and I get them online because my post office doesn't carry a lot. They just run through, you know, they do have a lot, but it's used pretty quickly. So people take them and it's just, you know, it's very busy there. And so I go online. You don't need an account, but I order through the account. And this is just this is not flat rate. This is basic priority. So priority mailer, it's the envelope, and then this priority box. I will say, as you are weighing items and you are figuring out what service you want to use, USPS, FedEx, so on and so forth, to make sure that you match up exactly the box with the option. There's flat rate, there's ground advantage, which you can use anything that doesn't say priority. And then obviously if it's FedEx and UPS, you can't use these for UPS or FedEx. But they have medium flat rate, they have large flat rate, small flat rate. So you can't use this priority mail, you know, this particular box for a flat rate if you're using a flat rate code, and vice versa. So if I'm purchasing, someone purchases something from me and I decide that flat rate is the most inexpensive option that's going to get there the quickest, I have to use a flat rate box because that's the option that I chose for that. So just keep that in mind. Last thing you want is your item not being delivered or your customer having to pay when they receive their item because you used the wrong packaging. So just keep in mind, I do love it. I do love using priority. I don't use a lot of flat rate. I tend to use just priority because I do a lot of live selling on Poshmark. And so flat rate, I think it's like $7.97. They pay a flat rate for shipping and then it's priority. And so I can use anything that says priority on it that doesn't have flat rate and all those other things. So I either use this or I use one of these. And if I don't have them on hand, then I can go ahead and use a box. But this has been such a lifesaver, a game changer for me. And then this is just a bonus, guys. This is just a quick bonus. These are thank you stickers. As you start getting more comfortable and more experience in selling, and depending what platform you use, you will start to find more of a, you know, just like a rhythm. And as you start finding that rhythm, and you start bringing in, you know, some funds, then you can utilize those funds and reinvest it into the business and get, you know, maybe higher quality shipping supplies, or you can look at storage options, or you can look at maybe more buying these supplies in bulk because cost per item is a lot less expensive than just having to run and subscribe and get them every single week. This right here was really pennies on the dollar. I have only 3,000 of these. I just got a whole nother bunch a couple of months ago of 3,000. And I always put this thank you sticker on every single item that goes out. If I miss it, it's just, you know, I'm human. But I try and make sure that at least my buyer knows that I appreciate them. And I do send cards every now and again, depending on the situation, the relationship I have with that customer, if they're a repeat customer. But if you're selling, you know, hundreds of items a month or thousands of items a year, sometimes it may not be as productive for you. And it's okay. Don't worry about it. I just got a note a couple of weeks ago, and someone had mentioned that they enjoyed the thank you sticker. And I thought that was really cool. It was actually on one of my reviews. So I thought that was pretty cool, because I always feel bad. I'm not feeling like I'm helping my buyers out by thanking them, even though I may message and say thank you and put this thank you note. But I guess a little goes a long way. And as you kind of move forward with your business, you can look at creating business cards, using your thermal printer to create labels with the QR code. There's so many other things so that you can drive traffic back to your store, your eBay store, your Poshmark, your Mercari, there's Depop, Grail. There's so many out there, your Whatnot channel, all of those things. You can definitely use that. But as you're starting off, it's very overwhelming at times, and there's so much good information on social media and on YouTube and everything that I encourage you to take a look. take a few things of what I said, and hopefully you can use that for your business. But these are just basic supplies. And at one point, I'll be doing a part 2, which will be a little bit more detailed of different supplies to really take your business to the next level. These right here, we're talking about mailers. We have labels. We have a thermal printer. We have a Scotty peeler, tape, a computer, and a scale. By far, those are the things that you will need to start off your reselling business in 2024. I appreciate you all for checking out my channel. Why don't you go ahead and subscribe, or if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and like this video as well. I'm trying to grow and just see where this goes. Mahalo nui loa, that means thank you very much in Hawaiian. I am from Hawaii, but I'm representing Texas currently. That's where I'm at. I appreciate every single one of you. You could be anywhere, but you spent the last few minutes checking out my video and spending time hanging out with me and learning about shipping supplies. So I appreciate every single one of you. I'm on social media. I'm on TikTok, Lady Suburbia, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, you name it. It's under Lady Suburbia. You take care, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. So do not go away. Do not leave. Do your best and send some love. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys take care.